Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Let's get into some topics, Bun. Sean's reported a concern that Tyrese Haliburton has a calf strain, right calf strain. Despite the industry, Haliburton will continue to push to play in the team's upcoming game on Thursday, per The Atlantic. Should the Pacers shut him down? Now, we saw a guy about 6 years ago, have a calf injury, and he pushed to play one Kevin Durant, and it didn't end up well for him. We saw Jason Tatum. He went down earlier in the postseason with an Achilles injury, and that's a debilitating injury. It's going to take you out for the entirety of a complete season. Now, watching the game last night, I thought, and I said this last night, Rick Carlisle, Tyrese Haliburton's like, I understand he wants to play, and he doesn't want to let his teammate down, but you weren't giving him anything. TJ McConnell was outplaying you. And you went back to Tyrese Haliburton, and the amount of minutes that TJ McConnell played, he outplayed Tyrese. I mean, if I'm out there, and I understand guys want to be out there. I was an ex-professional athlete, and I wanted to be out there. But it's hard if I'm not giving you, if just me being out there, that's not enough. Not in that type of situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, for one, your coach is supposed to protect the players. I get it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now, Tyler's postseason has been built on how the league portrayed him, right? The players got out there and said he was the most underrated. That'll put a fire under your feet for sure, right? That pushed him all the way up to the finals, to the conference finals. And then I feel, and this could just be me, but I feel like Siakam getting the MVP put another fire under his feet, right? I agree. There's so much in his mind that Tyrese really has to prove right now. And I don't think it's just to himself. I really think he really wants to show this league that he's the best. I think he wants to prove it. The beauty of your team is not necessarily that you're the best, is that your team is deep. So that when you aren't productive, you know what I'm saying? McCollum can come in, Siakam can come in, people can come in and pick up that slack. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We had that issue here when we had Chris Paul in the playoffs with the Rockets. You know what I'm saying? Chris pushed too hard. Chris at that time was, a little bit dealing with injuries, you know what I'm saying, off and on. And still to this day, as he played. And he probably shouldn't have pushed himself that far. If they had held him back a little bit, we would have won one of those two games had he not gone out. You know what I'm saying? We might not have won the first one, but we would have been competitive in both of those games. So you really got to think of the long term when these things happen. But, I mean, I know, Shannon, this is it. Ain't no basketball after this for a while anyway. No, so you play football. You know what guys were willing to live on the field during the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Take that needle, bro.
They're going to leave it all out on the field. I remember with the Astros, our pitcher went out and we had the guy, he was sitting in there, man, and he's ready to go in. But he had just pitched a while back and he was a little tender, but it's game 7. Like, I'm ready to go in, put me in. And they like, no, because honestly, we want to keep you under contract and make sure you're still good. Right. And the Astros ended up losing the game.
Have you for one game, and then now we got you on the hook for $150 million for the next 6 years, and you can't.
I mean, luckily McCullers was just getting ready to come back. You know what I'm saying, from 2 years of injury. So I understand it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to stop a player, especially one is the money, right? Obviously, the money's a driver. I don't think that's a factor in this. It's the competitive nature. It's the want to prove that I am who I've said I am, and I'm not who y'all try to say I am. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think they've got a rotation that they can work through him. But again, if they don't put him in, right, or give him restricted time, he's gonna blame himself if they don't pull through in game 6.
Right. But I think the thing is, look, he has to understand. He could, and I don't think he's overrated, but he happens to be in an era with Steph Curry, with Luka Doncic, with Shai Gilgeous, with James Harden, Ja Morant. If you look at the guys he's up against, there were some good 2 guards, but ain't nobody get mentioned with Jordan. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. There's some really, really good quarterbacks, with Tom Brady. I mean, think about it. There was a really good quarterback. So you trying to say that Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger and Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees weren't good quarterbacks? But when you got that guy, you just have to get what people give you. And I think that's the thing with Tyrese Haliburton. He could go out there and he could average 30. People are not going to put him in front of Steph. They're not going to put him in front of Luka. They're not going to put him in front of Shea. They're just not, Bun. You know,
there's too many greats in that.
You in the rap game.
Go ahead, Shannon.
You in the rap game, Bun. And you know this. I mean, when Tupac and Biggie, let's just say Tupac, Biggie, Hove, KRS-One, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, you got to take the 10 best rappers. Okay, everybody's going to be talking about the 10 best rappers. It's going to be one or two, and that's how it's always been. And it's always going to be. There have been some great R&B singers, a bunch of them back in the 80s. You know, the 80s and 90s, the R&B was king. But only Marvin Gaye. If you wasn't Marvin Gaye, if you wasn't Teddy P, bruh, Barry White, oh well, maybe you threw Freddie. Freddie came along in there and snuck in there. Time. But that was it. Yeah, he got a little time. But it was basically Marvin Gaye and Teddy P.
Look, that doesn't mean you aren't a great player just because you aren't considered the greatest player. And that shouldn't affect you mentally. You know what I'm saying? My favorite player was always Crawford, Jamal Crawford.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about one of the best to ever play the game, right? Mm-hmm. But he was always considered the best sixth man. You know what I'm saying? If somebody go down, I got us from here. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Tyrese is a player like that. I feel like the Pacers as a team are built.
Yeah, like they ain't got no superstars on the team.
But their mentality is that everybody's ready to step up.
Yes, you never know. It's really hard to game plan for them because you never know who's going to get that 25 and then who's going to have the 19, the 18, the 17, the 16. They don't have that one guy. And maybe in some situations it hurt them because most teams that win championships, they do have that one guy. They can give him the ball and he can go
That's
get
why we didn't get further than we have. That's why we didn't get further than we have because right now we have a very young team with a first-time coach and we just don't have anybody that we can say, hey, I need this too right now. And every team has to have somebody that can give you that too when you need it consistently. Now, if you have a rotation where you know if I get these guys where I want them in this particular scheme, we can make this work. But all of that's wishful thinking. I'm talking about, and he's a two. He's a two, bro. That's a tall ladder to climb, bro. That's a lot of rungs to climb to try to, to say that you are considered amongst the best, bro. The best person that ever played this game played your position. The best ever to play the game played your position.
Right.
Some of the best shooter ever to shoot the basketball played in your position. It's going to be a wow. You got to have chips. You got to have a couple of MVPs.
You got to put some time in.
You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of things that's going to have to come together in order for everyone to consider Tyrese to be that player. That doesn't mean he won't be that player. Right now, I don't even think he has to be that player. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he has to be that player. But if it ain't his time, bro, you left 30 plus teams behind, bro. Take some pride in that. And y'all only going to get better. This team's only going to get better. But right now, he's got to be very, very careful because he could do some real damage to
more harm.
Yeah, he can do some real damage. And I know it goes far beyond the physical side of it in this point in the game. When you are not at your top, health and performance ability and capabilities in the moments, like right here, this is the biggest moment. This is the stage that 8-year-old and 7-year-old, guys, that's who they want to be. That's where they want to go. And when you're not in optimum prime position to take advantage of it, man, that becomes far beyond physical. That's a mental thing. That can cripple you mentally or it can supercharge you.
I'm gonna say this and we're going to move on. Go back and look at Grant Hill. Grant Hill had an ankle injury, and he played in the playoffs. And Grant Hill was never the same. He was on his way to being a historically great player. He could do it all. Go back and look at Grant Hill, and once he got that ankle injury, he was never the same player. Guys, be careful.